Hello Magic fans, I'm Beef and welcome back to another standard gameplay video. This is the first standard gameplay video using the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cards. Now I know Universes Beyond are not universally liked, but it's a new set and I'm going to showcase what it can do. As I said, we are playing ninjas. Go ninja, go ninja, go! Go ninja, go ninja, go! Obviously in a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle decks there are a lot of ninjas. Loads of them in fact, and we are looking at a large amount of them. Also we are looking at the new mechanic Sneak, which is very similar to ninjutsu, whereas ninjutsu you can, if we read it on Kaito, we can pay the ninjutsu cost to return unblocking attacker we control to hand, and then we put it on the battlefield tapped and attacking. Whereas if we look at Sneak, it is a cast, an alternative cast, not an ability like ninjutsu. It says you may cast a spell for the Sneak cost, and if we also return an unblocked attacker we control during the declared blocker step, it enters tapped and attacking. So can we do it at a very specific time, and it is a casting cost, alternative casting cost, which is a real shame because there is a ninja in standard at the moment called Satoru. Have I spelled that right? Nope. Satoru. There we go. Which lets you draw a card when creatures enter if you've not cast them, which is what ninjutsu is. But because Sneak cast count as an alternative card cost, it won't trigger Satoru's draw. But anyway, as I said, we have got Kaito, which is a ninja when he's not a planeswalker, and we can get an emblem to buff all our ninjas, which is really, really good. We can also 0 to survival 2, then draw a card for each opponent who's lost life this turn, or we can -2, tap target creature, put 2 stun counters on it. And then our new cards, we have 2 copies of Leonardo Leader in blue. So each of the turtles has 4 cards, 1 at each rarity, as well as some team up cards. Like we can see here, we've got 1 Dark Leo and Shredder, you know, just because they obviously didn't have enough ideas for a full set, which is one of the reasons people complain about Universes Beyond. Anyway, Leonardo Leader in blue, 1 mana, 2/1. And we can sneak him for 5, and when Leonardo enters, if his sneak cost was paid, creatures we control get +2/+0 to end of turn, and then we can pay 2, Leonardo gains first strike to end of turn. So this is actually pretty good because we do have some things that we can want to sneak in on turn 2, and while he's not evasive, if we threaten to activate that first strike, they may not block, and if our opponent does block and that first strike can kill it, we can do that. If not, we can sneak something in. Then we have 4 copies of Prehistoric Pet, which is a 1 mana 1/2 dinosaur ninja. They're a thing. It can't be blocked by creatures with greater power, so that's some good efficient evasion as well. And we can also pay 2 and tap him, return target creature we control its owner's hand, activate only during our turn. So that being unblockable by creatures with greater power is good, because again we can then sneak things in. Not a ninja, but a new card and a very good one, Dream Beavers, 1 mana 1/1 flying. When it enters, each opponent loses 1 life and we gain 1 life, scry 1. That's a great enters trigger, but the fact it's flying means unless our opponent has a flyer on turn 1 or 2, we are almost guaranteed to be able to sneak something in. And what are we sneaking in? Leonardo Cutting Edge, 2 mana 1/1, not great stats, but we can sneak him for 1. He has lifelink, and whenever we gain life, we put a +1/+1 counter on Leonardo. We'll be definitely playing him in a lifelink deck. So the nut draw basically, if we go turn 1 Dreamweavers, attack with it turn 2, sneak in Leonardo, he hits, we gain life, he goes up to a 2/2, we replay Dream Beavers, we gain life from the Dream Beavers ETB, he's now a 3/3. That's really powerful. We also have Splinter Hamato Yoshi, a 2 mana 1/3. We can also sneak him for 1. He has Menace, and other ninjas we control get +1/+1, so great to buff pretty much our entire board. 2 copies of Super Shredder, a 2 mana 1/1. What's with these bad stats? He also has Menace. And then has whenever another permanent leaves the battlefield, we put a +1/+1 counter on Super Shredder. That's any permanent, as our opponents, and leaves the battlefield for any reason. So if they crack a treasure token, or a fetch land, or airbend something, or we sneak something, he's going to grow. And because he does have Menace, it means we are quite good at sneaking with him as well. Then we have 4 copies of Dark Leo and Shredder, a 2 mana 1/3 with Sneak for 2 mana as well. Attacking ninjas we control have Death Touch, and then whenever Dark Leo and Shredder deal combat damage to a player, we create a 1/1 black ninja creature token. Then if we control 5/1 ninjas, that player loses half their life rounded up. And then 3 copies of Turncoat Kunoichi, a 3 mana 3/2 with Sneak for 4. It's one of the few cards that have Sneak higher than its casting cost. And the idea is when he enters, We choose target creature and opponent controls, exile that creature to this creature leaves the battlefield. That's a pretty good ability. You know, we've seen things in the past like Brutal Cathar that do it, the Banisher Priest type effects. However, if the creature sneak cost was paid, we just exile that creature instead straight up. And what's really good is, obviously, he comes down attacking, or she comes down attacking with the sneak. We hit them for 3 or maybe more from some of our buffs, and then if later on we sneak with the Kunoichi, put the Kunoichi back into our hand, and then we can get her back out with sneaking. And depending on how much mana you cost, you could maybe attack, sneak in, let's say a Leonardo cutting edge, and then straight away sneak in the Kunoichi again if you have the mana. So that is something to be aware of. And then the last spell, we've got the Last Ronin's Technique, a 4 mana instant. We can sneak for 2. We create 3 1/1 white ninja turtle spirit creature tokens. If a spell sneak cost was paid, they enter tapped and attack it. This is in theory really powerful. I don't think I've actually cast it yet, because basically, because of removal, you never go particularly wide. I've had times where essentially, you know, I've attacked with a splinter and I'm like, well, I could get down 3 1/1s, but I actually want them to be 2/2s with the splinter because maybe I've got other creatures, and if I bounce a splinter, it's not going to be very good. Yes, if I had the mana, maybe I could bounce a splinter and then sneak the splinter back in. But yeah, I've just not really got around to it, but it's very, very powerful. Last card is just 3 copies of Requiting Hex. We can actually blight pretty regularly with this deck, just because, you know, if we blight onto, say, a prehistoric pet and then bounce it for sneak, that counter goes away. So bear that in mind. And getting to life will grow our Leonardo Cutting Edge. There's another, well, there's 2 more Leonardos. The mythic rare one, he does have sneak, and he's a 3/3 double strike. He lets you cast creatures with power or toughness 1 or less from your graveyard with finality counter. So that could be really good. And sneaking in a 3/3 double strike is good as well, especially with all the buffs. Mana base, nothing new apart from 2 copies of Turtle Lair. We can tap it to add colourless, or tap it, add 1 mana of any colour, but only to cast a ninja or turtle spell. And we can also make target ninja or turtle unblockable for a turn. We've only got 2 of these because some of our spells aren't ninjas, like the Last Ronin's Technique and Kaito Bane of Nightmares. It would be really good if they kept Kindred for this set as well, and made like the Last Ronin Kindred turtles or ninjas or whatever, so that we could use mana from Turtle Lair, but we can't. So that's a deck. It's really quick, but you do need a specific curve. You do need your turn 1 evasive creatures to turn 2 sneak and get value. We are light on removal. I say that Hex and Kunoichi is decent amount of removal, but if your opponent just goes wide or starts removing your 1-drops, Dream Reavers is a must kill based on what I've been playing with. So it is just, it sucks when that happens, but otherwise it's a really, really fun deck. A really, obviously, a old creature type in Magic. First I came about, I think, in original Kamigawa, but one that hasn't seen a huge amount of support apart from Kaito. And you could obviously play Changelings, Patchwork Banner, Adaptive Autonomy, and things like that to really go wide. But this is a showcase of the new cards, and there are a ton of new ninjas as well. So hope you really enjoy it. If you do, please remember to like, subscribe. I'll give a shout out to my patrons, Cadius, Mihal, Thomas, Adrian and Pestilence. Thank you very much for your support, and I'll see you all in my gameplay. Our opponent goes first. Why does the Dream Beaver? Let the Dream Beaver get removed. I don't really need more lands for now. It is kind of funny how, like, the Dream Beavers are just must kills. You have more removal? The ooze. Well, I think then we get down Kaito.
I learned something in ever that you didn't expect to see me.
Got bumper down ninjas.
I just hate a fair fight.
That's an interesting combination. Well, let's super shred up. We will splinter. And we will. Let's just buff our team again.
Just try to keep up.
Because if they, yeah, that counts as a permanent lead in the battlefield. You get the draw. There's another demon wall. And whatever that is. Well, I think if we tap down your squirrel.
Take a break, will ya?
And we will swing in. Probably should have got another emblem. That's fine. Yeah, let's just Dark Leo. And another Super Shredder. Oh, did I already use this thing? Oh, I did, of course, need to tap down the squirrel-noids. Squirrel-anoids. Well, you don't have a super shredder, do you? But I'm not sure. Oh, it can attack now. Oh, it could attack anyway. Could add one counter on it. Okay.
Fine. I'll make a new plan.
There we are. We're still dead. Good work. Our opponent goes first, as always. Can our dream beavers survive? Well, good. Majority of the consoles. Yeah, we'll keep it. Oh, they have their own Leonardo. We will Dream Beavers again. They will grow their Leonardo, but we can hex it. Not yet, I don't think. Wow. Well, you know what? God, you. That's trading. Yes, you gain 2 life. Ninjutsu in.
Let's give it our all, pump. I've seen scarier things in a bowl
I
of noodles.
think we surveil and draw feels like a land.
My eyes are as sharp as my sword.
But that wasn't a land. So Kaito's down.
This place needs more hospitality.
Get down a pet. And the Dream Beaver. No. We will blight. Minwoo is a big problem. I think. Keep sneaking you. Exile Minwoo. Then I think we sneak Vinter in, and that way we can sneak the Kunoichi again. Our opponent is at 33 though. Do they have the exile target? Attacking creature.
Your tech is way. Don't worry, Pom-Pom-chan. I've got this. I just hate a fair fight.
No. Our opponent scoops. That is interesting. 34 to 20. But every creature we play, they're gaining 2. And presumably they had more payoffs for life gain. But we just keep cranking out the emblems and sneaking things in with the Dream Beavers. We're going to smash them in the end. Why does our opponent go first every single turn? Every single time? It is enraging. and they go first and don't know to play their Badger Mile card or Ascension or whatever it is. Great. Oh, now they'll swing in. Should have hexed the elves last turn, but no matter. Get down Leonardo. Oh, I would have liked the Dream Beavers earlier. Pick you up.
I've trained
Let's
for situations.
stun
I've seen scarier
you.
things in a bowl of noodles. You're not going anywhere.
Well, at least we can Kunoichi and get rid of their warden. They've not had any other creatures enter, so they didn't get any value from it. We will emblem.
Just try to keep up.
Well, that's... I'm going to kind of need more land at the moment. And let's... Oh,
I thrive in the dark.
let's swing in. I imagine they don't want to get rid of the giant. But we can Kunoichi the giant next turn. What do they buff? Well, we will buff our ninjas again.
Just try to keep up.
Go on. Are they trying to like saddle or something? There we go. Pick up the beavers. Take out the giant. Their board is dead. They're down to -4. There we go. Job done. Opponent goes first. We've got a pet. We do have to shock in a hallowed fountain. Play it. Vampiric rights. Okay, on the farm instead actually. I don't think there's any point. Well, actually, no, we can sneak in Dark Leo and shred up. Go ninja, go ninja, go. Infestation Sage. Yeah, we're not blocking you. Well, let's X you. I think we just play out Splinter. We don't need to bounce a token to sneak it in. Another Sage. Doesn't take out Ashlizzlle. Don't take out Ashlizzlle. Well, we will swing in. Splinter has menace. Who has menace? No, actually, we will. Oh, do we actually want to? No, as weird as that sounds. Because then we would have lost our other ninja.
Don't worry, Pom Pom-chan.
And not killed their rat.
Try to keep up.
Okay, dokie. Yeah, I think we tap that down, swing out, and see what happens. Yeah. Well, this isn't a keeper. This isn't a keeper at all. Wow, okay. Let's get down a watery grave. Oh, there's a Dream Beavers. Yeah, we'll keep you. There's an Airbender Ascension. That is not what I wanted to see. Dream Beavers get removed a lot. Well, let's swing in. We will sneak in you. Well, that was our only black mana, wasn't it? Yeah, that was kind of annoying. You want a life gain deck? Well, we'll take out the sentry. Good. A voice. We should have taken that out. Well, let us dream weavers. We need more black mana. But this does let us Kunoichi. War leader's cool. Well, they're doing their thing. Swing in. Let's take out the voice. Still do with more black mana. The Jan is not great.
Guide and